Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing? How are we doing? Happy Friday. We are live from the New York Stock Exchange. Feels good, man. It feels good. It's Friday. Yeah. It's Friday, baby. CPI really didn't do much except manipulate this high and this high. So let's see, man. We could get. You'll look at the daily, right? We're looking at NASDAQ here. The weekly, put the 4 hour. The weekly candle's pretty much expanded, right? We could retrace back into this range. I want to see how we open at 9:30. If we come up here and take these highs, I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see some kind of reaction off that back into the range. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm kind of watching how we open, watching these highs up here. We've been patient all week. Been patient all week. No point in forcing anything, putting yourself in a bad state of mind for the weekend, right? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. There's no point. So if we look at the calendar, right, CPI just released at 8:30, about 30 minutes ago. Got a little news at 10. We'll see how that plays out, but I'm focused on the open, right? If you go pop it, look at some other things here. Gold's still really just not doing much. Silver, same thing. Oil, inside day yesterday, obviously, off this big move. So, I don't know, man. I like oil shorts, to be honest. Don't know if we're going to get any move today. I think we're kind of just digesting that ceasefire news off this move here. So, we still have this like daily for value gap here and here, right? We could tap into before moving lower. But I am kind of watching this, right? Maybe this being a protected high. We've kind of swept out this consolidation high. So I'm kind of watching that, for downside. A little imbalance here as well. Obviously, low hanging fruit would just be previous day low. as your next logical target on the daily chart. Good morning, Jimmy. My mic booster is supposed to come in the mail today, so hopefully I'll get louder voice volume without it being kind of blown out. Got people trickling in. So yeah, kind of just watching oil to see if it wants to sell off and leave this high. Yeah, I know it's okay, but this mic, no one's really complaining. It's really me. Like, this mic is very notorious for being gain hungry. If you're in sound, you know what that means. If you're like a studio guy or whatever, make music, and it needs a lot of power. So what a lot of people do is they buy these boosters. And right now I have the gain turned all the way up on my interface, and it kind of sounds blown out when I listen back to it. I'm just very picky. You have to like talk like this. Let's go look at the what's up, mind your business. I like that name. 4 hour, right? On indices, you do kind of have this candle 2 closure. But the problem is I just don't, it's not in a POI, right? This candle closure isn't, there's no POI it's dipped into. It hasn't dipped into this gap right here. It's kind of sketchy. If you look at the sessions, you know, new day open right here. It's kind of just been a little consolidation again, right? So just being patient today. We've been patient all week. No need to force anything into the week. But if you look at the daily range as well, kind of manipulated these highs, right? Kind of holding that 33%, which is kind of where you want to see the Judas swing form. And then if you're going to sell off, right, distribute the other way. So we'll see, though. I'm still like, I just want to see how we open because we have these pending highs on the daily right here. We're close to those. So maybe 930 could easily just push us into those. And we could maybe see a New York reversal back into the range for like that TGIF kind of setup where Friday kind of just retraces back into the weekly range. Look at the weekly candle. This is one of the largest weekly candles so far. 1,400 points, right? This is one of the largest weekly candles that we've had in a while, right? So we could retrace. Here's a 1,500 one right here. We could definitely retrace to form that upper wick. Yeah, exactly. Yesterday low could be good, but we're also close to these old highs over here, right? So we do have a daily imbalance we could dip into here, right? I don't know if we're going to do that. If we do, it's going to be an outside day, right? We're going to take the high, and then we take the low. I just don't know if I see us from up here. 1.5%, it's definitely doable. Just got to see how we open. I just don't see a one-sided setup going into the open to hold through. Unless you were trying to, you know, hop in off this down close candle here. Right, because technically we have swept this low right here. Right, so if you had entered at 6 o'clock, you might be able to ride this higher. Personally, I'm not trying to hold through CPI because this move could have went the opposite way, right? We could have just spiked down lower. So when you have news at 8:30 like that, especially when it's high impact, just wait to trade after it. What do I think about gold longs? Kind of uninteresting. I mean, I expected a sell-off after a close like this, sweeping this high. But we've kind of just been slowly retracing that wick. So, yeah, the live trading's new. I started back this week just for fun. Didn't even announce it on Tuesday, just started the stream. So I think over time people will start to trickle in. I've kind of been posting about it on Twitter every day. We go live. A little on Instagram. But to get the best alerts, turn on your notifications for YouTube. Subscribe and turn on your notifications on YouTube. You'll get pinged from the source. But it's looking like 9 o'clock every morning. Not saying that's my schedule, but it's looking like 9 a.m. is when I'm going to go live. I thought it would be cool to maybe go live earlier to see the CPI move, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, like I want to see clear signs of a reversal, right? Obviously not trying to call a top, but if we are going to get that Friday retracement back into the range, it's definitely doable, right? Because we had a candle 2 closure here. Candle 3 expansion, candle 4 expansion, even though it really didn't do much yesterday. So the 5th candle, you can get a new phase of price, right? That could be reversal, consolidation, whatever. That's why you don't see candle 5 T-spot here, because we could get a new phase. My view is I want to see how we open. Maybe push up into these daily highs and then form a New York reversal for the daily candle to expand back into the range. Or maybe we open up and come lower, sweep out some lows, and then maybe we can get a nice little scalp to these highs. That's kind of how I'm viewing it. We've already kind of manipulated 8:30, right? To the upside and form this wick here. We could easily push past it. But here's a look side by side, ES, NASDAQ, YM. Some SMT here so far. What's up, French? Welcome back. Carson, Anonymous, Louis, Surfix, Jimmy, Rumi. I see some familiar faces in here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Name of the camera and the microphone. What's up, Marie? What's up, Marco? The microphone is a Shure SM7B. I'll put it in the chat. Like, camera, Sony A7 IV with Master 2 24-70mm lens. That's the camera. The camera's like 5K altogether. Microphone, I don't know, a couple $100. I'm looking to get a new setup eventually. If you want to learn from me, go on my YouTube channel. There's a link says watch more. There's some trade recaps right there. And also come to the lives. You can learn in real time. Live stream every day. I don't know about every day, but I'm kind of just doing it when I feel like doing it. But I want to kind of keep a consistent schedule, so at least a few times a week, right? Maybe do some giveaways here and there. I have some things in the works if these people will respond to me. I'm waiting to hear back from a few people. I already have some other things like confirmed lined up, but I want to get them all my ducks in a row before I kind of start doing that. Appreciate it, Robert. What's my current portfolio on accounts? So I've said in the past couple streams, I actually removed the majority of my live funds from my personal account to deleverage because I don't want to be in a trade, get slipped, some nuke gets dropped, like whatever. A bomb gets dropped in the wrong place at the wrong time. Something happens, right? You can get slipped. They can suspend market orders, and if you're in a trade, and your account can get drained, right? So I've actually deleveraged, but right now I'm still risking like 5K per trade. I'm looking to bump it up once conditions improve. The update on gold. Come on, guys. If you were in here earlier, I have to keep going over it. Gold, I don't, like I said, I've been expecting a sell-off after purging this high and having a close like this on the daily. But we kind of just slowly retraced it. So we're still kind of respecting this trend line liquidity. You can see here. So not really, it kind of just forms this high and slowly trickles up. Forms a high, trickles back up, forms a high, trickling back up, right? So I'm not really looking to short until, I was looking for shorts on this day here, but we kind of just trickled up. I think that ceasefire news kind of fucked up the whole week. Because we just ran. It's been pretty lethargic since. I mentioned earlier, though, at the very beginning, oil shorts. We're kind of still in this little range after digesting this move off the ceasefire. But I don't know if we want to come up to this daily fair value gap and head lower, or you could view this as a protected high, even though we don't have a daily candle closure, right? And this high could stay protected. We've swept out this high. Imbalance overlapping, right? Little manipulation above this consolidation here. And we could sell off, right? Previous day low. First target. So like gold or oil, it's not like A plus because there's no daily candle closure. This is a pretty bearish closure anyways. You know? Because all we've done is open up, retrace, and close back down towards the open, right? So this would be like your classic London reversal profile. Maybe we watch oil instead of gold today. Let's keep oil up. I mean, oil hasn't moved. It was doing like 5% the other day. 5% ranges up and down. Yeah. So we're still at the open basically. Haven't really done much. We cut on the daily range for the past 5 days. Yeah, so we kind of manipulated into that Judas swing area and it held. So highlighter that fades when I draw It's a tool up here called demonstration. Just hold down Alt and click. See, maybe we kind of just peek at oil here and there. Yeah, that tool's cool. One second. Only the news we got is 10 a.m. and it's low. It's like medium impact. Yeah. Someone is blaring country music. You guys have any questions? Anything you like from the past couple streams? If you enjoyed the stream this week, drop a like on the video. If not, come in the chat and tell me how I can maybe make them better. Yeah. I mean, we're so close to these highs. I would expect for Friday to maybe 9:30 Judas to the upside. Lower. Appreciate it, Mario. Exactly, yeah. I'm looking for something kind of quick today. Hit it and quit it on a nice little Friday. I mean, the open can go one of two ways. I'm kind of just viewing it as, lower into maybe these lows or this low. Then look for a trade that way. Or open, take these highs, and go back into the range, right? This is your bullish case. That's your bearish case. That's how I'm viewing it, at least. But I'm not looking to capture the initial move, right, into either of these. I want to capture the distribution after. Do we look for swings in 1 hour too? And there's a 4 hour, 15-minute setup. No, I'm always looking to enter on the highest time frame possible. So if I see a 4 hour, 15-minute setup, then I'll hop in. It's better though when all the time frames align, right? Like if you're gonna enter off like let's say a 3-minute, 30-minute, right? Entering on the 3-minute, but that 30-minute candle that you're trying to trade that expands also aligns with a 1 hour, And then that 1 hour also aligns with a 4 hour. All the phases, all the time frames, the phases of price are all aligning to expand, right? And that's when you get those quick one-sided trades. Yeah, the consistency is nice. Not taking trades, just entertain people. Exactly. I'm not here to entertain. I'm just kind of documenting what I do every day, which is a lot of sitting around and waiting. But it doesn't mean I don't show up every day and look for my opportunity. I'm not a machine gunner in the charts. I'm a sharpshooter, and I have 2 shots per day, right? Do I have a routine pre-market? I have a routine the night before that I do, where I go through my watch list and tag them, right, with my biases. If we have candle closures on the daily, and then I come and sit down the next morning and look at the daily profile, what we do overnight. How does that structure look? Does it confirm my bias? Give me more confluence to my idea? Is it invalidating it, right? Telling me to be more cautious? That's pretty much my routine in a nutshell. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the fact there's no 10 links on all prop firms with affiliate codes. Yeah, I want to do some giveaways for people who do trade prop. I do want to give away some accounts and stuff. So I'm gonna have to probably get in with those guys if you guys want to do giveaways on here. How do you journal and where? Yeah, I kind of went over it last stream. Yeah, maybe we can go and journal one day, or I can make a video on it. But I was going over showing the last trade I took last month. It was like 3 weeks ago. But I journal and trade Zello. And I legitimately use it. I won't say every day because I don't take a trade every day. But legitimately, every time I take a trade, win or loss, I'll go in there and journal it. Full markups, everything, put it in there. Promo code Zach. Carson's got it. But yeah, you do get 20% off if you want to try it for a month. If you use the link that's down there or just type my name in there. Last stream I used a word for shorts while the higher time frame is bullish. What word did you use? You're talking about when we were in this chop. Like look, remember I talked about that 5-minute setup on paper, like price action wise, it looked good to these lows. Previous day low. But we never even delivered down there, right? Just retraced off this low. If you go back in replay mode, watch. People are gonna I'm not gonna say it. People are gonna screenshot this and be like, look, Zach's replay trading. I'm only putting it in replay because that's when you get to see the high time frame candles, right? You had this 1 hour candle closure. And when you try and trade in consolidation in the middle, you're gonna get chopped. But that's why you wait for the extremes to be hit. And obviously it never did, right? Came back on you and purged that high. So I think you maybe got like maybe a 1 R for this low. So yeah, some nice little equal lows here. They kind of line up with this daily imbalance. The word I used, if you can maybe go back to the stream with the timestamp, last stream. You have a concern with the orange folder or yellow folder news? No, I don't even have yellow folder on here. I do have this on here though, because it'll show you the bank holidays. The gray folder. Like if we go back. Is Good Friday not on here? Guess not. Yeah, like it'll say like daylight saving time shift. Just like non-economic stuff it'll remind you about. But like I'm aware that we have some orange folder at 10, but I'll still take trades around that time. Like I'm not gonna have to wait till 10 a.m. to take a trade. If anything, it'll help if I'm already in a trade, push price where I want to see it go. Yeah, the gray folder is really just, well, the market just opened. The gray folder is just for like non-economic stuff, holidays, things like that. But if we look up right off the open, YM, NASDAQ, ES. Market is open. Oil. It'd be cool to see oil like retrace up into this tiny imbalance here. I'm trying to think what I would rather have. Would I rather have price come down here to go higher? Would I rather do the opposite and short it? I kind of like the short idea better. You know? Cuz like we're hitting major liquidity, like highs from back in March, early March. So, and it aligns with the TGIF, right? The fact that we've also been expanding for the past, couple days. It aligns with the TGIF, right? It aligns with the 5th day getting a new phase of price. So I kind of like the short idea better. And it's Friday, right? So all those combined. But you're seeing YM's weakness off the open, NQ strength, and then obviously ES somewhere in the middle. So let's see what happens when you hit this low. If we put weekly for all these, right? We've just been running. We haven't had weeks like this in so long. Like it's just been like wicks everywhere. So it's nice to finally have like a pretty like clear day, like weekly profile, right? Tuesday low a week, classic expansion, right? And that could give us the TGIF setup. And it's kind of nice also you have some S&T on that day right here. So that was nice. It's just this move we wanted. Remember we were looking for longs this day. It came down, swept the low again. The move we were looking for just happened off that ceasefire. So that's annoying. But it is what it is. At least we were kind of correct in our thinking. Do I mentor? I'm mentoring right now. Nice to do some one-on-one stuff. Like I used to. Hold on. Let me look at the regular trading hours. Not really a gap at all on most of these. I mean, shoot, this big gap here too. Like, I'm not saying we have to come back into it, but it also would be nice to kind of target these lows and maybe some of this gap if we do sell off today. This dude out here cleaning the pool is bumping country music, and it's like 9 a.m. Honestly, this is more interesting to look at than just the solo Nasdaq chart. Don't you guys agree? What's up, Tyler? Also, is my camera like too big? Should I make it smaller or leave it? I think it's just right. Yeah, I'll just make it huge and block out ES. Like, no one really cares about that. Like, beautiful. What do you mean by that? What we doing? What's up, Noreen? Good morning. How are you? I used to only trade ES, which is crazy. I know. And then I switched over to NASDAQ. I switched sides. I learned futures on ES. But look at this. Like, what are we doing right now? Am I into real estate? I'm looking to get into real estate. I don't own any real estate at the moment. Stream more often. That's the plan. I don't really look at dollar. I used to in the beginning. If I'm like looking at Forex though, like these futures, they're at the bottom for a reason. I don't really look at them that much. If anything, I'll try and get a 1 hour like overnight trade because they would like to move in London while I'm asleep. Then I'll look at the dollar. But that's pretty much it. Of a schedule, not like a set concrete schedule. I think if I did, it'd be like it's weird because like you could do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? Or Monday through Friday, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. Just having fun with it. But if I did like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then we all know Monday's kind of slow. But what if like that Tuesday or Thursday that I don't stream are actually the days where we have some nice setups, right? And we kind of have a nice daily candle closure. And that's when those days are going to present opportunity. It's like, I'd want to like trade with you guys on those days too. So I don't know. I'm kind of just like letting it free flow. Tuesday through Friday. That's what I did this week. Yeah, still flat. Don't want to give anything back. I've been patient all week. Why force anything now, you know? But I like how we've hit this low now on YM. Maybe that gives permission now for the rest of the indices to move higher. Like if we go to YM, still like in its little opening range. I guess you could call it that. Have you ever used order flow or volume profile? Order flow is in like Bookmap, like those third-party tools that like show those little bubbles. Never used that. They actually reached out to me like last year trying to do like a partnership, but I never responded. People reach out to me all the time trying to do partner stuff. Depending on the company, I'll respond. But I just never had an interest. If it interests me, like, yeah, I'll respond, obviously. But I don't know, I've kind of just been doing what I do, not really switching it up. Whoever used, and then that's the order flow question. Volume profile. Funny, I actually used to use volume profile when I traded options, so I'm familiar with it. It's just funny to see people online like, oh, your edge. Like AI is going to take your edge away. It's like, bro, my whole edge is around the fact that the market can't reverse without forming a swing point. That's never going away. That's never going away. Be fun to see. I think 10 o'clock will give us some better idea of what's going on. We're about to have an inside bar on this hourly candle. If we don't get out of this range. Yeah, it's funny. Right when I got off yesterday, the market moved. Like right here. When we failed to take this low, or the external low, and we kind of just stayed in this range. Right here. A 5 minute. Remember this like setup that, you know, don't get sucked in the lower time frames. This fair value gap here. When it came down and kind of came back in the range, and it was like 11 o'clock right here, I was like, I'm getting off. And then it just kind of ran. But it took the external high. Here we are. A swing point is literally just when you have a lower high, higher high, followed by a lower high. And that's your swing point. So based on this candle's closure, like does it close back in the range like here? That'll be a candle 2 closure. And you can look to trade candle 3, hoping this high. Not hoping, but depending on the lower time frames, right? This is not a very clean example. But we're looking to trade, anticipate these swings forming based on this candle closure here. And look to trade the following candle 3 and then candle 4 expansion. Yeah, there was like, it opened up like crazy. Like right here, there's a gap you can see on YM at 8:30. Boom. Even right here, kind of like gap down. Tiny gap there. Nothing catching my eye. I want to see how we react off this low, and if YM just keeps selling off, maybe eventually these will follow suit, right? But there's nothing on YM that would have gotten me short, right? Because once we close validating this swing point here, we closed all the way down here. So like, what am I gonna do? I mean, this looks like a purge of the high, right? Doesn't it? Whereas this is kind of like an upward trending consolidation. And this kind of looks like a purge of the low-ish. I don't know. It's kind of wonky. Did I take any trades? No, not this week. Not yet. Yeah, like this is not something I want to be in. This is like interesting. It just sucks like how like look how gross it is on the 5 minute like up in here. And then right at open it just like knifes. It's kind of annoying. There's like no good structure. Just a lot of like pop and chop. Yeah, it's like you kind of just off the daily profile, you kind of had a good idea of like this. We were looking for longs this day, but the fact that it swept the low, right, came back and closed really strong, and you start thinking, okay, weekly profile, Tuesday low week, classic expansion. Like we were primed to go higher. It just didn't happen within our time window of when we look for trades, right? It just happened right at the open. So everything was aligned in that sense. Just no real potential opportunities to enter, right? I mean, I'm really kind of interested in seeing how we react off this imbalance here on oil. But that's pretty much it for anything outside the indices. Obviously, if you're looking to short, YM seems like the candidate. But if we somehow reverse down here, we are in a 4-hour imbalance. Get some down close candles here. If we are to reverse in this imbalance here, I'd then look for NQ longs, right? You can see when we have SMT, right, the previous day high here and here. 's a whole lot of waiting. A whole lot of waiting. $10 is like our next big, what do you want to call it? Event, checkpoint. Got 8 minutes till 10. New 4-hour candle. New 1-hour candle. New 30-minute. New 15. So we'll see. Like this was Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, like if we came back in the range on NQ, obviously I'd target these lows, and then if it does want to fall a decent amount, these equal lows right here. I mean, same thing with ES. ES and NQ's price action are pretty similar. YM's got some lows. See what I mean though? Like how this will be like your where the juice swing kind of occurs, 33%, and then it distributes, right, for the day to the average daily range for the past 5 days. If we cut that on across the board, right? ES still just kind of hanging out at that level. And Q's kind of slowly pushing through it, trying to at least. YM just selling off. ADR. It's by 2 degrees. Average range levels. It's probably you can just look up 2 degrees on their page and find it. It's just something I toggle on here and there. I don't like use it really every day, but it's just nice to kind of have as like a visual. I try and keep as my approach as simple as possible. I'm not trying to incorporate all these little things because the more you add, the more the harder it is to execute, right? You start getting information overload and analysis paralysis. But yeah, those are like the main things. And then I have these kind of like, you see here, like I can make it clean, no indicators whatsoever on my chart. Add on the TTFM one with certain settings. And I can also add on the daily with the average range. And it'll tell me like, these will stay daily candles too. So I can see where we're at in the day on the 15-minute chart. So I have some certain like indicator templates saved. But if you want to look at like the ADR for the past, like not 5 days, but the past, I don't know, you can change it to like 10 days, 20 days, whatever. The past 5 days is like a good like idea for the past week. All right. 10 o'clock, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Three minutes to launch. Yeah. US 30. It's just funny how that sells off, right? Off this consolidation. Everything else just keeps chopping. We're so close to these highs. It's like a 0.5% to get up there. Barcoding looks like we're gonna talk about barcode. I mean, this will pop up. Yo, yeah, this is what it's like trading NQ. You want to talk about barcode? This is what it's like trading NQ in 2026. What is that? If someone's coming on the stream for the first time and they see this, they're like, "What the fuck are you trading?" Hold on, look at this shit though. Oh my god, I actually own shares in this company. But bro, imagine getting in at like 0.00 whatever, and it runs like 10,000% on you. Bro, I'm picking out Gulfstream jets. But yeah, talk about barcode. Imagine having like 10 grand in that. Just like chilling. If it goes up like a quarter penny, you're up like 100%. Or whatever that decimal point was. All right, let's focus up. 10 o'clock. Okay, okay, 10 o'clock. There's your 10 o'clock news. So far, YM is like the cleanest structure today. Just because it sold off and we kind of have like at least some swing points and imbalances right here. Swing high. Swing low right here. We swept. I mean, maybe we were waiting for 10 a.m. news and now we can move on the other indices. Let's do a little check on. Oil doesn't look that good. Let's clean it up a little bit. Gold looks like ass inside bar the past hour on the hourly. Okay. Yeah, if you guys need stock picks, let me know. If you want a Hail Mary stock pick, HCMC is my retire fuck you money stock pick. All right. You can't go lower than 0.000001. All right. So get into the ground floor, set an alert for 0.003, and you can retire. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. True, it can go to lower and get delisted, I guess. The problem is, who are you going to sell that to? I guess if there's volume and like people, if it's going up, you could like get out. I have no clue what the liquidity is like on that. All right, so if you're a 1 minute trader, you have this 15-minute candle 2 closure down here at these lows, right? Which is, I don't even want to go on the 1 minute, but I will for you guys. Right? In the T spot, you're about to get a closure above this. I don't like trading the 1 minute. But you would put your stop, right? You would do something like this. You would get in right here. Looked for like a 2R, right? So, but I'm retired from the 1 minute. I'm a 3 minute guy. Look, to get it off my chart, I have to favorite it and unfavorite it. I don't even want to look at it. Could very well play out though. We could keep tabs on it. It's tempting, yeah. But it's also the weakest asset. So it's like, and we're still inside this 5 minute imbalance. Still inside this 3 minute imbalance. You know. But we're looking for that swing point to form. All right, let's watch it. Let's see if it plays out. What was 2R? 2R was like, you had gotten in. Basically the top of this T spot. I'm more interested in like maybe catching a short on the others. Because we're already taking up previous day high. Right, we have SMT at these highs. Maybe we don't need to come up here to these highs. The old daily highs. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like I would have done it by now. The only thing is, since YM has now sold off, right? Is that going to now allow us to run higher on the indices because we've sold off and YM's done what it needs to do? Basically give permission to the other indices to now move higher. Because we get synced up to the upside, right? YM had some business to attend to before moving higher. Maybe now we can get some strength. That's kind of how I'm viewing it. I'm not like looking for longs or shorts. I'm just trying to get a read on like what the fuck is going on. And that's okay to not know like what is going on sometimes. You're not always going to know like what the market wants to do. And that's fine. You're not always going to know what the market wants to do. Anyone who claims they know what the market's going to do 100% of the time is a liar. But we've been patient all week. I don't want to burn any of my capital on a forced setup, right? Literally the only setup potential that I see is this 1 minute off this T spot right here. But like, see how it looks like the rest of the indices now want to sell off? Like that's not good, especially if you're longing the weakest asset. Like that's one of the reasons why I don't like the lower time frame 1 minute. You gotta be super nimble, right? And it's easy to get sucked in onto a setup like this when the higher time frames are screaming bearish. Not saying that they are screaming bearish, but in general, right? We talked about the short setup that didn't play out in this consolidation, right? If you don't know what phase of price we're in, on the higher time frames, you might pattern trade a setup in here. Look to target external range low, and we don't get it, right? And you either get stopped out, break even, you get stopped out for a loss. Maybe that causes you to go on tilt and make more mistakes. But I stopped trying to make sense of every single second of the market long ago. Like, you're just going to burn yourself out trying to do that. Like this move on YM right here. Some people probably sitting here kicking themselves that they missed that. But it's like, how would you have caught that? Like, realistically, how would you have caught that? Would your system allow for that? Like, mine doesn't. It's literally barcoding into the open and just dumps. Push the button, push the button. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit in here and bullshit you. Like, I realistically, like, I'm not gonna take that trade. That's the thing. We talked about it yesterday as well. Like, ask yourself if you take a trade, after you take the trade and you get out and you're reviewing it, ask yourself, would I have taken that trade again? If the answer is not 100%, 10 out of 10 every time, yes, then it probably wasn't a good trade. Like the best setups, you don't have to sit here and like search for, you know. Obviously, you're gonna have to do your analysis, follow your morning routine, go through your process. But if you've gone through your process and nothing's jumped off the chart at you, there's probably no setup. You don't have to sit here for 30 more minutes and like look at the 5 minute, look at the 4 minute, look at the 3. Like, you don't have to do that. We're either barcoding and you're gonna get no setup, or we're moving pretty clean and the setups just kind of jump off the chart at you as you're going through your process. Yeah, I don't like to sell it. I don't like to sell at market when it crosses the opening price. I like to sell after it closes below and confirms it. That's just how I trade, right? I want to see it confirm that change in state delivery. So you'd have to wait for it to close down here. And obviously, I'm not going to hop in down here, right? That's a very aggressive way to trade it, though. If I'm trying to catch an opening drive move like that, I'll just wait for a 30-minute, 3-minute model. Let's see this 1 minute now. It's not looking good. Because you have 3 minutes left in this 15-minute candle. And this 15-minute candle didn't do shit. But yeah, if you'd want to see it respect this, right? This gap here. Digging back into that down close candle. Opening price of this 15-minute. You want to see it now quickly move away. Otherwise, if it inverts this, probably going to take that low. You got some kind of like SMT right here. 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 I mean, we can sit on here and point out 1 minute SMTs every, 5 minutes. And go crazy. Here I am. You guys got me on the 1 minute chart. What are we doing? Like, look at the barcode on the 1 minute on ES. Even like NASDAQ. Yeah, look at that. See? See, now my stop would move to here if I was in this. Remember 2 hours like right around here? Ooh. What are we doing? I mean, I guess we could say we kind of swept this consolidation low on the 15-minute, right? I'm really looking for like a 30-minute trade. Sorry, a 30-minute, 3-minute. We can sit here and watch, right? If anything, like, look how strong like Nasdaq's pushing up compared to like YM now. Because remember, like this was the strongest asset off the open. It didn't sell off to this low. So, I mean, you're about to get this 15-minute candle closure here, right? Off this consolidation low. Maybe it goes up here now. Takes out some of these highs. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But you need to see like some kind of retracement to put in a protected swing. Maybe this imbalance here to go higher. And then you'd take the trade, right? Like so. For a continuation entry. Like, see, like that's why I don't like trading the reversal, right? I'd rather let the reversal candle form trade the continuation. Because what about all the times where we closed above down close candles, right? Like right here. Came down, close above, you know? New 15-minute candle opens, boom, it spikes it, you know? You get stopped out. So it's like I don't like trading the reversal. I'd rather let the continuation form and then put my stop at the continuation low. So that's what you want to see. You want to see this like continuation form. Show proof that this is a true reversal that holds and we're in bullish order flow now. Stop at the low, target the high, right? You got little equal highs here. Little imbalance here. This shit. Ugh. Feel like we didn't close over the opening price there or here. I'm not sure if this did. What's the opening on that? 312. Closes 312. See, it closed right at it. I want to see it close over it, so I wouldn't take that entry. See how sometimes right here, like it wicks that opening price. This very next candle could come down and create another low. So like that's why I like to see it close over for confirmation. Appreciate it, Boogie. Glad you're enjoying it. If you guys are enjoying the stream, drop a like. Helps me out, helps the stream out. Lets me know I'm doing a good job. Like, watch. It looks like it wants this low now. Let's see. What a boring week, huh? What a boring week. And like, if it doesn't take this low, doesn't take this high, right, and close above, then it's just like now we're in a consolidation, new phase of price, and now you want to see it manipulate one side of the range to go higher. Like the longer it takes to close above the opening price, then we got it there and here, so that's fine. But technically, if you were like a 1 minute dude, depending on the higher time frame, right? We did dip into this imbalance. Purge external range low. So like technically, if you wanted to trade this higher and your bullish bias, right, you could look for like a 2R, you know? But I'm not a 1 minute dude. But trading like these lower time frames, all you're asking for is just a lower win rate. A lower win rate means a larger max drawdown. And so, can you take, like, I don't know, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8 losses in a row max? Like, if that's what the max drawdown for your system allows, if you follow your system perfectly to a T and execute it, you're still going to have a max drawdown at some point, right? Can you take like 6, maybe 7, even 8 losses in a row? If your win rate's like, I don't know, 50% or 40%, if you're going for like high R trades on a 1 minute, like, but if a win rate's more like 60%, which is really good in my opinion, 65%, you might only have a max drawdown or max like of like, I don't know, 30% of your account, or depending on what you're risking, obviously, or 5 trades, maybe 4 trades. So if you're risking like 10K per trade, can you take like a 40K loss back to back to back and not blow up? All right, here we go. Oil. Why does it do that? Man, this price action lame. I mean, at most I see us maybe taking out a high or two. All right, this low still holding. That continuation entry, just taking its time. This low got swept, so you're seeing some SMT now. That's why, like, this is where, like, choosing the right asset, right? SMT here. If it does play out, longs, this is where choosing the correct asset, the strongest versus the weakest one, can save you, right? If you long the weakest asset, right, this big sell off here, and chose to long this, you'd be stopped out. Even though, let's say we did close above, right, and then retrace below. But the fact we didn't, remember I said I like to see it close above, that closed right at the opening price. But hypothetically, choosing the weakest gives you a slimmer chance that your trade's going to play out versus longing strength. That's going to put the probabilities in your favor more. And that's like what I'm trying to work on this year, is making sure I'm choosing the right asset. Because like I've already worked out the problems of like FOMOing, over trading, like all those things have been worked out. It's more now about like choosing the correct asset. And that's the tricky part. Let's go like a 5 minute. What things did I do to improve my win rate besides taking trades on high time frames? Trading less. Knowing that I don't need more trades to make more money. I just need more capital behind the good trades I'm already taking. And knowing that like when I do press the button, like it packs a punch because I'm sizing them heavier. That makes sense. Because then when I know like, okay, I'm sizing heavy on my trades, I don't have to trade every day. Because when I was like trading more frequently, like the frequency of trades I was taking, like let's say I was taking like 2 a day, 3 a day, right? And I'd make like 10 grand for the week. Versus if I just took one trade that week but sized heavy on it, then I would make the same amount of money by doing less. Like I'd just rather just do that. Because the more trades you take, the more you open yourself up to making mistakes, right? The more risk or exposure you have in the market, the more trades you take. And we're all human. We all make mistakes, get emotional, right? So don't confuse activity with productivity. I know plenty of people last month who took a lot of trades and were red. I took 3 last week or last month and I was green. So it's not about being active in the charts, just choosing when to be active. And this does not look like something I want to be active in. I mean, it just looks like buns. It might look kind of decent on the 1 minute, but like everything else looks like trash. Yeah, early weekend. Do I need a thumbnail designer or video editor? Not at the moment. I do want to kind of take some lessons from these streams and put them on YouTube. I think my email's in the description. Let me look. Yeah, my email's in the in my YouTube about page. So if you want to send me some of your work, maybe go through one of my streams and like make some shorts or make like a YouTube video with like lessons all chopped up from the best parts of the stream and send it to me on email. If it's good, maybe we can do some work. Fajita Friday. So if you had gotten in off this, right here, your 2 hours still up here on YM. It's just taking its sweet time. And this candle 4 is just now starting to expand. Get 20 seconds left in it. Until we get a 30-minute close. Let's see. Like, see, this close doesn't interest me because it's still just in this range. There's no POI that it hit. Same with this one. If this candle had come down and sweep this low, like opened and swept this low, then came up and closed like a candle 2, great. But yeah, my email should be in the description or the about page of my YouTube channel. Like, bruh, What are we doing? I mean, let's see what happens now. Is Ole even worth watching? Not really. I guess you could say this is like a POI, this swing high right here. But there's no continuation entry, right? It's just kind of been slowly selling off. So you'd want to see this come up and like, I don't know. Doesn't look that good. Gold. Nothing really. Maybe this high. See what happens, but that's previous day high. Mm-mm. Did we get a 2R on? Or hypothetical? Sure. Not yet. Almost. Same with NASDAQ. There's your 2R on NASDAQ. If you got it on the continuation on the 1 minute. But like, look, right? This high is this high, and we just hit it on these indices. YM being the weakest probably doesn't have to take it now. So it could reverse from here, right? So you'd have SMT. Yeah, like you're not always going to know, Boogie, what the market wants to do or even have a bias. So, and that's fine. Like I had an idea of kind of what I wanted to see this morning based on like how the overnight played out and where we were with the daily candle expansion. It just seems like the past, like yesterday, it just chopped all morning, and then at 11 o'clock, it not even at 11 o'clock, towards the end of 11, right? That was, yeah, right at 11, I guess. It started to move. Yeah, Carson, I could say that. You could say that because like the PA is pretty similar on uh like yesterday. Like this PA is pretty similar, whereas this, kind of the same. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like if YM has been moving in sync with these for like the a few days, and everything's kind of going smoothly, you could say, then yeah, maybe I'd take into consideration more like SMT with YM and stuff. But you're saying because NQ and ES kind of move more together, put more weight or emphasis on that, on the SMT there, you could do that. I just try and take into consideration, like in general, where all three are, like which one's strongest, which one's weakest, and then go from there. Hmm. Nothing really catching my eye. I'm kind of tired of looking at all three. Kind of getting tired of looking at this, but we'll give it to like 11ish. What's the relative volume? See, we've only done 33% of the average volume. And it's already almost, we're getting close to 11. Like, that's ass. Usually a good day where we get some nice movement, it's like 50% by 10 o'clock. We've done a third. Only a third so far, and it's like late morning-ish, almost. Yeah, Marco. These are like the toughest conditions I've traded in my like 4 years full time. Like this is tariff stuff. Like this was so much fun over here. Back in 2022, it's crazy. You were getting like 600 handle days. Like clean, look how much fun. Like this is so much fun. Look how clean this was. Like you were getting clear one-sided direction. You know, look at these daily candles. These are daily candles, right? Like you could be swinging in this daily. You know, add to your position, trail stop, right? Add to your position, trail stop. You know, and you were getting like clean one-sided daily for value gaps. You know, taking out highs, dumping, right? Candle two closure, get some follow through. It was a lot of fun, but now we're in this, and it's been tough. You don't get to choose when you make your money. But yeah, 2022 market when the Ukraine stuff started popping off, that was fun. That's what all this was, right? This is the highs and then Ukraine situation. And then we had this run. This is wait. This is tariffs. This is Ukraine. Nice run. What's crazy is look how long it took to drop to the lows. Like 31, we dropped like 31%, 32% in like a year. Sorry, 322 trading days, I think. Look how fast we dropped 31%, 25%, in 48 days. It was like, it doesn't matter. That's the thing. People like, oh, we've sold off enough. Like, time to buy. I know people who are scared to buy down here long term on their portfolios because of how fast it was and how aggressive it was. But like the levels are the levels. It doesn't matter how fast. People are used to it taking months or even a year to bottom out. This took a month versus a year, you know? So when the market's down and it's at the level you want to buy at, you buy. It doesn't matter how long it took. The levels are the levels. What indicator is that for volume? Just search up RVol label by Ripster47. weekly wicks. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. Like, not even a clean drop. It's just like a slow, choppy drop. Whereas this was kind of fun, you know, clean and one sided. I'm hoping that this ceasefire stuff and the Iran situation will get us out of this and kind of get some clean one sided weeks again, like we've seen. The problem is these moves have just happened overnight outside of the trading window for me. So I've not been able to capture any of it. Which ADR do I use? This one, average range levels. By 2 degrees. It's kind of messy. Not a lot of participation today from anybody. Not a lot of participation. Um, let's see here. Yeah, nothing. Nothing on oil. I think we're gonna have another inside day on oil. Didn't even get a tap into my imbalance that I wanted. Four-hour. Dang, there's the 5-minute on NASDAQ. Let's see. Let me look and see if there's a tweet. Nope, not yet. Only thing I see is Trump tweeted about Palantir. And that got a little spike. I mean, you're seeing this consolidation. Like, there's nothing to do. Even the 1 hour's telling you that. I think people were just. I think this move off the ceasefire really just really kind of just put a damper on things. Because now people are waiting. It's like, is there a ceasefire? Are they going to go back on it? Then you have like other countries attacking Iran. Like, yeah, we're down for a ceasefire, but we keep getting attacked. Like, what are we what are we doing? Talking about Iran missiles. About to buy the Porsche again? Probably. Real estate's a long-term play. The Porsche, I've met so many cool people through the Porsche. like going to like car stuff, um, the networking. Here you go. This just came out 7 seconds ago. Iran's parliament speaker says ceasefire in Lebanon. Release of Iranian blocked assets must occur before talks. Also, like I don't know where I'm gonna be long term. I like where I live now, but it's I kind of just been taking it year by year. I guess their spokesperson must be talking. Like holy nuts. It looks like buns. Like we're not even getting a range, like a nice range in the consolidation. It's just almost dojis on the hourly here and here. Someone needs to resuscitate the indices. Let's watch some maybe the metals. Silver. So you have SMT like here with gold. Like you can kind of view this as like a consolidation, right? Manipulation to go lower with SMT at the high. Bro, I love this tool where I can draw. Like I'm just kind of noticing that you have this inversion now that closes below. So that's like one of the signs of like maybe reversal, right? Because you have expansion met with this kind of expansion out of this consolidation. At what? The -2 standard deviation with SMT. Bro, I used to have a roommate and he would hear me talk and he'd be like, dude, are you speaking like another language? I'm like, yeah. I'm speaking in the code of the algorithm. Speaking algorithmic code. Once again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me this week. If you're enjoying yourself, drop a like, subscribe, because you'll get pinged when I go live in the future. This ain't doing shit. At least gold's kind of like doing something. Not barcoding anymore. And we got 10 minutes before this candle 2 closure, right? On gold here. Because you had an inside bar right here, right? That did not take out previous high or low. So that can be your consolidation. Like you can view a consolidation just on these higher time frames. You don't have to go down lower, right? We're inside this PA here and here. And now they're talking about ceasefire stuff, so maybe gold will go lower. About to get a 30-minute and a an hourly close and a 30-minute close. Yeah, you can kind of see it better on the 3 minute. Like if we make it clean here and here, right? Nothing really going on here. Let's go back to gold. You just don't want to see it come back in the range and then just chop again. We'll see how it closes in 10 minutes. Because, like, let's point out the 50% of this wick. Okay, we're respecting that. Here and here. Hit it twice. And we have SMT here with silver. So, we've hit it. We've hit it. SMT. The weekly on gold. I mean, we swept previous week's high. If we close like this on the weekly for gold, that would be sick. Because then we can go look for a sell-off into the next week on the new weekly candle, right? We just need to close below here, which we can maybe sell off Monday or overnight or who knows for the weekend. And then look to trade candle 3 down to previous week's low right here. Or maybe 50% of this wick, right? Which is, I guess, right here. And then look for the low. If you're a 4-hour swing trader. What'd be sick is if we hit this, drop lower and close below, then right at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, you could do like a positional entry. Like so. I just don't know if there's enough juice in the tank for gold to drop. Like what's the daily range say? Yeah. We could drop. I mean, shoot, look at the ADR. It lines up with these lows. Previous day low. I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to like sit here and like force stuff, but still nothing on indices. We really want to maybe like, I don't even want to say it. 4 hour looks kind of nice on YM for lows, right? Because you have SMT at these highs here. If you close below here, your stop would go like on the body, right, of the up close candle. But like, what are you going to target? Yeah, up, down, up, down, up, down. Let's watch gold. Is there any SMT? There's not even any imbalances. I'll glance at like the Russell here and there. That's kind of clean. Maybe the Russell gives. Actually, never mind. It's not that clean. It's clean on the higher time frame. You go in the 15 minute, you're like, holy crap. It's that bad on the 15. You already know it's shitty on the other time frames. Let's watch gold. 30-minute, 3-minute. See, like, I don't really count like volume imbalances as like a POI. Like, I prefer fair value gaps over a volume imbalance. I haven't really back tested volume imbalances to see if they actually hold and count as a protected swing or not. So maybe we close, hit this, and go lower on a 3-minute. Remember this red line here is the 50% of this wick on the daily. Right here. And what you can do is, if you don't like seeing all these like setups every time, like that don't really align with what you want, you come up here to bias, change it to bearish, and get rid of that, and only show you bearish setups. But like personally, I like to see both, but it can get kind of messy. Yeah, I saw that, Tyler. I think we had the most amount of people in here at one point. 73 was the peak. It's funny to see it peak around like just after 10 o'clock too. That's like a common theme I'm noticing. People kind of trickling in. I'm curious, how many people in here are new and have never seen my channel before? How many people? I'm assuming the rest have been following for a minute. I'm just curious if like YouTube's pushing the stream out to other people, like just on their watch page. God, this looks like ass. I'm an OG. We'll give it a little after 11 to see what 11 o'clock does, and if nothing interesting, then might just take an early weekend. Shoot, when you're a trader, every weekend's an early weekend. We're done by 11ish. I'm gonna hit the gym. I used to be like, yeah, every day feels like Saturday. Every day feels like Saturday when you trade NASDAQ. That was like it's funny when you go full time, you get a whole new set of problems to deal with. Like, what do I do with all this free time? Because in the beginning, you were like, oh, I have all this free time. Let me just trade 24/7. Pre-market, morning, lunch, afternoon. It's like, then you end up just getting like burnt out. You get a whole new set of problems to deal with. All right, here we go. New hourly. Let's see. 5-minute close, pretty good, right? 3-minute as well. Can we get a, or at least sweep this high out right here? But even then, it's like 11 o'clock. Like, do I even want to trade anymore? After seeing the low volume across the board. Like 44% of the volume on gold today, and it's 11 o'clock. It just seems like a really 38%, and it's 11 o'clock. Like, it doesn't even seem like worth it to even like push the button. You know? Like, bro, you just know there's some people in here blowing their funded accounts, like getting destroyed. I know, but it's Friday. JTBDC, new here. Are there proof you are profitable? Go down on my channel and go watch some of the trade recaps. I log in live to my broker. If you like what you see, stick around. If not, no hard feelings. I'm sure there's other people out there streaming. Let's see here. This is like the only move that's even like interesting. Oh my gosh. What are we doing? No news? See a French. Yeah, just not the kind of PA you want to be in, right? Wix, barcode, Wix, barcode, pop, chop. Like it's just there's no direction today. Do I go full time after I make good money on affiliate trades? I went full time before I even knew what prop was. I don't even trade prop. Only affiliate code you see in my description right now is a TradeZilla code, and that's a product I actually use. Not much going on. Yeah, my man's getting paid. He's getting paid to watch the stream. Yeah. These lows right here in this imbalance. 4 hour. I mean, you kind of do have equal highs too, but You got 3 monitors? I got 2. I think I want to get an ultra wide, like curved. Maybe like 2 curved, like stacked. Like 1 I'm looking at, 2 like pointing down at me. So like 2 ultra wides. There's no entry in here. All right, boys. I think we're going to have to call it here. I don't see anything enticing in this or gold. You know, nothing really going on. But I appreciate you guys stopping in. Been a fun last 4 days. See you guys next week. Keep an eye out once again on Twitter, on Instagram. Subscribe. Turn on notifications so you know when I go live. And if you enjoyed the stream today, this week even, hit the like. Helps me out. Helps the stream out in the world of algorithms. And I'll catch you guys back next week. Peace out. Enjoy your weekend.